All right, I want to talk about the war before the day. I'm not talking about the war in the world, but I'm talking about the war that happens in the morning when you first open your eyes. So let's be honest for a moment. It's that kind of honesty that sits with you in the quiet before the day begins. No one's watching, and the only voice in the room is yours. You already know what you're avoiding. You've always known for a while. It isn't a mystery. It isn't a matter of information or strategy or finding the right system. You know what that thing is. You know what it costs to keep not doing it. And still, every morning, a negotiation begins. Subtle, sophisticated, almost reasonable. And by the time it's over, you've talked yourself into a slightly smaller version of who you intended to be. You see, that negotiation has a name, and it's not laziness. Okay? The Stoics, they called it akrasia, and it means acting against your own better judgment. The ancient Greeks understood that the deepest war a human being fights, it's never against circumstance. It is always against the part of the self that prefers the familiar over the truth. Hermetic tradition went further still. It said your outer world is a mirror. What you see in your results, in your relationships, and the life taking shape around you, it is always precisely a reflection of the internal order you have or have not established yet. Discipline. This is the point I want to make. In this tradition is not a virtue. It is a cosmological principle. To govern yourself, it's to govern the world around you. To abandon yourself to impulse and avoidance, it's to hand the keys of your kingdom to something beneath you. Warrior monks of every tradition understood this. They did not wake early because they loved to be outside in the cold. They woke early because they knew that the first victory of the day, the one over a warm bed, over the negotiating mind, over the voice that says, not yet, sets the tone for every battle that follows. Win the morning. And you have already told your nervous system something important about who is in charge. And here's what neuroscience confirmed, centuries later, that your brain is not designed for discipline. It is designed for survival, which means it is designed to conserve energy, seek comfort, avoid pain, and return always to the familiar. The prefrontal cortex, that part of you that's holding vision, values, long term thinking, it's slower to activate than the limbic system, which is ancient, fast, and deeply persuasive. This means that every morning before your wisest self is fully online, your oldest self is already making decisions. Remember that. It is reaching for the phone before the eyes are fully open. It is choosing the known over the necessary. It is building brick by quiet brick a life organized around avoidance rather than intention. This is not a character flaw, this is biology. But here is what the teachers and scientists agree on. You can override it. That's why we talk about reprogramming. Not through willpower. Willpower is depletable. It's a depletable resource and an unreliable one. But through identity, through a slow, deliberate construction of a self concept that is stronger than the moment. The person who does not negotiate with the difficult thing is not more motivated than you. They have simply decided in advance who they are. And in the moment of friction, they are not making a choice. They are expressing a commitment already made. That is the discipline the ancient teachers were pointing to. Not gritted teeth, not force. Forge identity. So today, or tomorrow morning, whenever you hear this message, when you meet that threshold, that door, and you will meet it every morning, you already know where it lives. Do not try to feel your way through it. Do not wait for motivation to arrive like the weather. Instead, remember you have decided who you have decided to be. Speak it. Say it plainly. The power of the word. This is not who I am anymore. The version of me that walks around this, that version is finished. And then move. Not perfectly. It doesn't have to be gracefully. Just move forward. Because the warrior does not require the ideal conditions. The monk didn't require inspiration. The elder sitting at the sunrise did not build his wisdom, but by waiting until he felt ready. They all simply began again and again and again. Every day is a possibility until beginning becomes the most natural thing we know. So the thing that you are avoiding, it's not your enemy. It is the door. And on the other side, it is the version of yourself you keep describing to other people as who you are becoming. See you in the next one.